They said, show me the boy from 0 to 7 and I'll show you the man. This is because of something called theta waves. Okay? Do you know what theta waves are? Give this video a like. Theta waves are a state of daydreaming. Okay? It is what children experience from ages 0 to 7. At those ages, their brain is like a sponge. It just absorbs everything. So if I ever do decide to become a father, I am going to tell my children positive affirmations, commandments, incantations. Get them singing different songs and prayers and mantras. Different things that is going to fill their subconscious mind with positive energy, with positive momentum. So we don't judge ourselves and make ourselves smaller. So we don't squish our self-esteem and our potential to a tiny little version of us. Whereas we need to expand and be greater. If you're here today, you're here to understand that I'm a flow state specialist. My name is Sumit Chatterjee. I'm from the Flow Zone Academy, okay? And I'm here to teach you today about certain things around manifestation, okay? Now you might have heard of manifestation. How many of you have maybe watched the movie The Secret or heard of the law of attraction before or manifestation? Now there's those group of people, and then there's the group of people who have actually manifested things in their life, okay? So write 1 in the comments if you just found out about it and you kind of know about the concept. And write 2 in the comments if you understand that you have actually manifested using this tech, okay? So it's important for you to understand, first and foremost, that there are these 2 realities that we're living in simultaneously. The physical world and the metaphysical world, okay? The Newtonian laws and the quantum laws, okay? Space and time, beyond space and time. So the physical world is the manifestations happen very slow. In the metaphysical world, it happens instantaneously, which is why when you get into an alpha wave, you close your eyes and you can visualize, you can imagine things. Okay, you could use your imagination to create a scenario even before it's actually happened. And this is what gives us a gift over the animals in the animal kingdom. Because we have foresight. You see, we can actually perceive and create images and imagery in our minds to concoct our realities. You create your reality, and I think that if you've come to this point where you realize that I don't create reality, the universe is creating for me, it's divine timing, I'll just wait it out, I'll wait. There's 2 types of people in this world, man. Actually, I would say 3. So the third one is very, very rare, and it's the people who found this channel, first and foremost, because it's very difficult to find my channel through the algorithm, but maybe you found it through something. I don't know where you got into this. Maybe you nosedived into this information from. Maybe it was through one of my reels or shorts, or maybe you just found me organically through YouTube, or maybe you heard me on a podcast with someone else, or maybe so there's so many streams of information. But I remain the flow state Jedi. I remain creating and auto-correcting my character as I show up with my life force energy, my Vajra, every single day. You see? And so it's very, very important for you to understand the split that's happening. Because a lot of your money blocks, and that's what we're going to talk about today, is due to this programming. Okay, from 0 to 7. Maybe you grew up in an environment where your parents were impoverished, okay? Or they were going through a money situation or bankruptcy or alienation or some kind of strange scamming that might be going on, or some kind of a level of where money can be used so seductively and deceptively from this lower consciousness, dense energy that it can actually corrupt, right? It can actually corrupt a person's mind and change them completely and make them very dark and heavy, right? And so I woke up today and I recognized something. I recognized something very special. Number 1, so I haven't done kickboxing in a week and I feel the weird rustiness again, okay? But I did it anyway because I said I was gonna do it. And that's the thing, you gotta claim your reality and step into it. Stop going back and forth in your mind. The wishy-washy nature is great for a while. It's like people are either too much fire or too much water. But what the real skill set is right in between, and the essence of both is restraint. Restraint, self-control, moderation, temperament, whatever you want to call this thing, okay? It is that equilibrium point that you can just hold. That restraint, to hold yourself a little bit back. Not to go into it, crave it, need it, but to appreciate it from a distance. To allow it to exist and be alongside you. And you're completely fine with that. Okay? It's like you are a shark and there's a walrus going past you. You don't have to hate on the walrus. The walrus is doing its walrus thing. You just go, okay, cool, see ya. Okay? I'm gonna go hang out with my shark pals now. Okay? That's the momentum. That's the energy. You don't have to try to fit into every social circle and be this weird iguana chameleon person. Okay? You can stay pure and true to you. You can stay light and effervescent. I love that word, by the way, guys. I don't know if you noticed in my videos, I just keep saying that word. Yeah, man. Let's say that you grew up with like a belief system that told you, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. Okay? Add the word yet. I can't afford it yet. Boom. Changes the frequency. You see, what you end your sentences with is what is going to dictate the frequency. And so, if you start to speak to yourself as is, you will start to pull that invisible reality through from the quantum to the material world. But you've got to keep giving yourself a taste of that abundance. But what's happening is through a lot of our culture, there is too much scarcity thinking, okay? We don't have enough resources, so we must fight each other to get these resources, okay? Some of the major problems of this world comes from this idea that there's not enough to go around, that I have to be self-protected and self-preserving and selfish, right? And it puts you into a survival mode, a victimhood, and a feeling like you have no choice. I've explained this on this channel before, but this is really what you want to rise out of if you want to be more positive, upbeat, and actually start enjoying your life, okay? Because when you're enjoying, you're in that enjoyment frequency, you're letting go more, okay? You're taking risks, you're allowing yourself to be more free and open with your expression. And you'll notice you hear a difference in people's voices. Like you hear my voice open up right now, okay? Because I did a mantra earlier to this video. And it's simply this. Har, 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 om. Har, 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 om. Okay, so that was kind of lit, how I moved the phone with my vibration. I trip myself out like that sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, so are you just like sitting down and hoping and wishing for and praying for that I hope I want this, I wish I had that? Or are you claiming, are you saying that I am wealthy, not I need money to survive? Okay? I am wealthy. I am successful. Whatever you add after I am, it becomes the truth. But you're probably walking around going, I am tired. I am bored. Okay? And therefore, your reality tends to stay the same. But understand this, if I gave you the magic power that you have the remote control in your hands, maybe you would understand that I'm controller. Right? She like it when I get aggressive. It's the controller energy. You are the one who sets the codes. You are the one who changes the channel because you are the channeler. You are the one who walks this earth using your shamanic essence and your secret codes that are hidden within your inner depths. And if you're a part of the Adepts program, you understand what I'm talking about because you feel this visceral change in your own energetic substructure. And you will notice that when you step up to this level as a shaman, everything will start magnetizing towards you. And it's like you didn't even have to try. You just had to have the intention and set the container for it, right? And then you started taking little drip feeds of action, okay? One of the first times when I started working with Manifestation Coach, I was told to meditate through 6 times a day. I'd set a timer in the morning, wait 3 hours again, wait 3 hours again, wait 3 hours again, wait 3 hours again, right? And that put me into a very interesting mode of energy maintenance throughout my day. I started to notice the rise and drop of my mood, and I started to notice how neutralized and zen I would actually be in those little moments, because my mind was going like from that little theta, quick 5-minute meditation, and bringing me in these little pockets of theta, right, throughout the day. So imagine I'm going a little bit beta brainwave, stressed out a little bit, caffeinated, you know, doing stuff. And then I meditate, and then I go, my consciousness is going down a bit, up a bit again. After the meditation is done, I go back to my regular day. After 3 hours later, again, you're going throughout the day, and then 3 hours later, right? What you're doing is you're reprogramming your subconscious mind like this, okay? And this is very, very powerful, and you can access these secret codes in our path working called Primal Sutra, where I actually channel different deities. I hold space for them as they speak through me, and we've been having these experiments for over a year now, so we know that the system works and is very, very powerful because it's reproducible. We can get other shamans to follow this process and get similar results, okay? The process is detoxing. We are taking the gunk, the emotional gunk and the storylines of our money that just aren't serving us anymore. I have a money cash flow meditation. If you're interested, just comment down below, okay? Just type in I'm in, and I'll just send you that link. Or if you could just leave your email ID down in the comments, or if you join the Telegram group, just, you know, message me on Telegram itself, and I'll just send you the link there. Just say I'm in, and try out that meditation at least once a week, okay? This one is not a daily one, but the once a week cash flow meditation, if you do that, you will notice you will start getting lucky. You'll start getting more fortunate. Some people have got checks in the mail, bills, random clients doing, you know, multi-million-dollar weeks and things like that. It's just wild what we've experienced through this tech, okay? But it's very, very fine-tuned, and the visualization is very, very specific. So you've got to go through this process, okay? And once you cleanse all of the money stores, you realize that you have no more weird ceiling of your potential anymore, right? A lot of us, we have this ceiling. I can only make this much a month, right? Or something like that. And it just keeps us perpetually in that pocket of scarcity, because our true belief system, if it's that we can afford that much, okay, you understand something, you're going to have to raise your thermostat, your financial thermostat, because you are going to have to be able to handle more of the heat that comes from having more money. Okay, so you're gonna have to get used to that feeling of that charge of extra, maybe added responsibility that comes from having more money. Allocating time, allocating resources, okay, figuring out different strategies. So understand the financial storyline might be there, and you might be making money in the physical world, but in the metaphysical world, if you are messed up metaphysically, if you have emotional blocks associated with money, if your relationship with money is bad, okay, you keep speaking it into reality, oh, this will never work, oh, this can't happen, and you just complain all the time, you will send out and broadcast that energy of scarcity. Because what do normie people do? They complain about money. So do you want to be classified as another, you know, NPC, a Joe Schmo robot, a random, you know, cardboard cutout robot cookie cutter type of person, rather than an actual organic transcendental man or woman who shows up as the priest beast or the priestess beast, who's ready to envelop themselves in these teachings and in this lifestyle, who lives, eats, breathes, and shits Primal Sutra. That's what I'm talking about, baby. We're here to show up and be the walking ripple effect, the one that is the walking tsunami, that will cause such a ripple across the planet that they will be able to not even touch us. And that is the eminence and the frequency that you want to be tapping into today. I don't care where you're at. Your aunt is nagging at you. You know, you have some check in the mail that you've been waiting on. You're going through maybe some liminal or pause moments in this time to rest. Maybe you're being reminded to rest more. Good. Very good, but now it's time to remind yourself that abundance is your motherfucking birthright, okay? That you are here to make money and be spiritual at the same time. I don't have to be a kumbaya, woo-woo hippie that goes and, takes all of the drugs, okay, given to me in one magical little Halloween trick-or-treat bag and goes off of the rails, okay? And then you have the other one on the other side who's like the hustle, let's go, 20K, 30K, let's make all money in the world, man. There's nothing stopping my legacy, my empire, Then there's that. But what if we could merge the two? What if we could create such a harmonious presence for ourselves? Because I believe that the answer for you to make more money is to merge both of these hemispheres internally. You're being too split. You're too left brain or you're too right brain. The real geniuses, the inventors of this world, had their hemispheres synchronized. So maybe you're living life way too lopsided. This is what we're going to help you with. Primal Sutra is one of the path workings. At least it has been for me, okay? And I'm the creator of it, one of the creators of it. And I understand that because of Primal Sutra, I have been able to step into my greatest, most shamanic self. And you guys are seeing it unfold on this channel. I'm sure you recognize it, right? There is a vast difference to the way that I'm able to show up through an unlearning process. Because that's really what we're here to do, man. We're here to unlearn, not learn. A lot of the times we have to get rid of some of the knowledge that has actually been infiltrating us on a deep subconscious, but even all these, epigenetic levels. We have so many of these different ideas of the physical world that the metaphysical blessings are being blocked, you see, by the language that we use, by the way we hold our body language, which is linked to our subconscious minds. Okay, everything kind of links together. That's why we say how you do one thing is how you do everything. So you gotta allow yourself, like if you are generally, like for me, I know like hygiene is a hot button thing for me, and I understand that if I really start to lean more into my messiness and I learn to love it, I will actually let it go and I'll be actually very, very clean. I will actually be very, very pristine in that moment. But it's the fact that you have a resistance associated with your identity pattern. That is why you keep holding on to it. You see, you're like halfway there, right? There's no such thing as halfway crook, right? So that's the thing. You got to understand that if I'm going to really be rich, I'm going to fully be rich. I am wealthy. I'm not trying to get money. I'm not trying to validate myself with this income or feeling the sense of security every time I get a paycheck and insecure every time I don't have one. I'm not creating that weird wishy-washy seesaw dynamic anymore. I'm here to show up and create wealth, right? I'm here emanating wealth, broadcasting wealth, okay? I'm showing up as $1 million, let's go. And I'm here showing up on my YouTube, helping certain people. Let's say you're from a very, very impoverished neighborhood in Africa somewhere, okay? And you're listening to this right now, bro. First of all, I see you, bro. Second of all, understand one thing. If you change your mentality right now, all your friends have probably not found some of these secret codes, bro. Do you get that? You could be the teacher of your community. You see, you could be the community preacher with these understandings on a deep metaphysical level. If you understand that ideas become things, how to utilize the power of also the metaphysical beauty into physical beauty, right? The concepts around golden ratio. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of golden ratio, okay? But this is where the two worlds merge, okay? Is through the Newtonian model slowly expanding into a more quantum understanding. And I know I'm very shamanic, I speak very vast, so if you got very confused throughout this entire video, 3 simple things that you can do, okay? Number 1, take out the trash. Clean, clean, clean. Get rid of all the emotional and baggage and gunk and trauma and storylines and set it all fresh, okay? Become an empty vessel, okay? Become empty, 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 empty. I am emptiness, okay? Get to that level, number 1. Number 2, set a very, very clear intention, okay? Number 3, go into that version of you and believe and live as that already. Number 4, start incorporating and behaving that you already are that. So if you're trying to be successful already. How does a successful person behave? Start emanating that body language. Start speaking like that. Start walking like that. Start being like that. Start emanating and broadcast that energy. You see, you have to bathe in abundance, not bathe in scarcity. A lot of people are bathing in scarcity. What are you telling yourself as you're scrolling those reels? Oh man, I wish that could be me. Oh, that's kind of cool. Double tap, right? What are you telling yourself? Are you like, that's dope. Oh, I'm going to do that next week. You know, like, are you giving yourself opportunities, or are you just blocking off, right? Negativity has this energy of denseness and heaviness and blocking things off, blocking off opportunities. Self-sabotage, that's the negative energy, right? Self-sabotage is going to come from negative energy. It's not going to come from positive energy, because positive energy is associated with growth and possibilities, right? Changing, having that sense of freedom and expansion and transformation. So once you give yourself an allowance to transform, and you set a container for it, like through these 3 months, I'll be working on just this, okay? And I'll go back to it 6 times a day, you know, I'll be meditating, giving myself that theta wave little zhoo, right? Until I get that eminence that I carry with me, and I become the walking frequency, right? I become that high vibrational orbit where other planets start to orbit around me now as I start moving through the social fields, because social fields recognize this photonic beauty, as Rion calls it, okay, from his book Photonic Beauty. But we'll discuss that topic later. It's a very deep and dense, kind of a heady topic. For right now, you want to focus on basically manifesting more money by understanding where are your emotions, what are your feelings associated with money. When you lose money, where do you feel it? Is it at the pit of your stomach, right? You got to get really clear about what that money story is doing to you and completely just eradicate it. It is not true anymore. Convince yourself it's not true anymore. And start bathing in this new reality. It's going to be like changing a habit almost, right? So, you know, when you change your habit, you have to go through this weird clusterfuck of a withdrawal, right? You have to go through that, unfortunately, okay? As you're going from a negative world, maybe you've 40 years of your life, you've been in negativity, okay? And just perpetuating the same patterns. Now, as you're going to let go of that, of course you're going to feel different. Of course you're going to feel renewed, okay? Because the thing is, with this kind of energy work, you will notice that over time, you just start to bring in more because your container gets cleaned and expanded, right? It's like your home is going, it's like you have a shot glass of your consciousness in the beginning on your spiritual journey, and then by the end of it, you have like this giant cauldron infinity pool type thing, right? And it's like changing the spaciousness of it, right? So can you hold a spaciousness? Spaciousness is your ability to have physical and metaphysical reach, okay? So understand that, you know, I could reach people's energy through this video in another part of the world, right? So these words, these frequencies, my voice, my vocal tone is coming through this video, hitting your ears, right? The receptors in your ears, picking that frequency up, pulling it through your consciousness so that you can be the walking embodiment from that flow state essence that I'm tapping into right now, you see? Which is more so this kind of Lyran energy that I'm feeling today for some reason. But it's very, very powerful. I don't know if you guys can feel this. So, we recently got off the phone with Granny Shirley. Okay, Joe Nicasio, our business mentor coach, introduced us to her. And very, very lovely lady. And she was just explaining her story. We will possibly have her on the podcast next week. I hope every single one of you Flow Jedis are doing incredible. If you're struggling with anything, if you need my assistance or support, reach out to me and let's start working one-on-one and figure it out, okay? Because, hey, if you have the willingness, you can come up with the resources, okay? That's just how it's always been. If you really have a willingness to do this thing, you'll find a way. Don't you worry. Upward Spiral Gang, may we never be the same again. Let's go. Us, we're all gonna make it. See you at the top.